Ano ipapakain sa pamilya ko? Pag ang pamilya ko kinante, kahit sino ka pa, lalaban ako ng patayan sa'yo kahit patayin mo pa ako. Binarubal na tayo eh. Tinarantado na tayo eh. Kinuha na yung bahay natin eh. Sa parinig nyo, kung ano yung nawala sa atin. Kasi kung lahat tayo mananahimik, aabusuhin tayo niyan para tayong batang kinutongan. At pagkatapos pag nagkita kayo, ano yung expect mo? Sobrang galit na galit ko.
What's up mga ka-Team LA? So, we're not actually gonna make a reaction video about Coco Martin's post in social media in regards to his sentiments with ABS-CBN lockdown. Okay, it was just a joke. Because first of all, I really don't know the full story about why ABS-CBN was shut down by NTC. Okay, but what we're gonna do today, I'd like to share to you the 7 C's, like 7 letter C's, of what you need to have or what your company needs to have in terms of leadership principles to get through the current pandemic. So we're gonna go through those today, and I'd be more than happy to share to you what those are. So before we start, I'd like to remind our viewers to click the like, and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so that you get notified for our future videos. So again, this is Alfie for Team LA Motovlog. Since we can't do any travel or motovlog right now because of the enhanced community quarantine, then we'll just upload videos like these. Alright, let's start with the first C, folks. By the way, before we start, it's Sunday. I just want to greet all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Mama Emma. Happy Mother's Day to my 2 sisters, Vermily and Almi. And then happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law, Mama Carmen, and then to my sister-in-laws, Ate An, Ate Joy, Marlene, Charmaine, Ramji. Who else? I think that's it. And again, happy Mother's Day to my wife. Apart from that, happy anniversary as well. I love you and I miss you so much. Despite that you're not here, I'm still happy that we're together. May not be physically, but mentally and emotionally. So I love you. Take her always. Alright, so let's start with the 7 C's. Alright, let's talk about the first C, which is calm. Well, pretty much very basic. You have to be calm so you can think clearly, and of course when you can think clearly you can plan very well. And at this point in time, it's important that you're able to plan well, because your actions have to be very calculated. Very difficult to commit mistakes right now. Those mistakes can be very critical to and be very vital to the business. So it's important that everyone stays calm, and the more calm you are, you'll be able to think well, and your plans and actions will be very, very good in accordance to the situation at hand. Okay? The first letter C again is calm. Okay, calm. All right. So for second C, we have confidence. Okay, now confidence kind of related to the first C, which is calm. It's important that you see yourself and the people you work with together, like you see that you'll be able to successfully get through in this pandemic. Um, it's important that the people you work with sees that confidence in you. Mind you, that confidence is very contagious. Well, that confidence is there, and when people see that you are very confident, I mean, not very confident, but when people see that you are confident and you know well what's happening and you know well what to do, people, the one that surrounds you, would also be calm. They themselves would also develop that confidence. And when the whole team has that feeling of confidence and together the feeling of being calm, it's definitely going to bring great results for the team and the company. Okay, so that's for the second C, talking about confidence. Alrighty. So for our third C, we have communication. Okay, now communication. You have to relentlessly communicate, communicate to your colleagues because it prevents developing rumors that makes the water muddy, like things become unclear. However, I'm not just talking about communication. I'm talking about strategy of communication. There has to be a system of orders and priorities, okay? But it's important that you frequently communicate with the people you work with. Delays of hours, days, worse, weeks can definitely start to have, it will definitely be a factor where rumors start to happen, and it develops unnecessary stress, creates unnecessary questions, which if it was communicated properly and on time, those could have been prevented. Okay, so it's important that we communicate. And the other aspect to that is for the other people who's not even sure with the things they're saying and the things that they're about to say, I highly encourage for them to just shut up, okay? Because you're definitely not helping at all. You're just adding to the stress. You're not being a solution, but you're being part of the problem. So if what you're saying is not true, then just don't say it. Just STFU. Okay? So that's communication. Now the fourth one is collaboration. Collaboration. So each people have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and they both have, their own capabilities. Now, you definitely would not have all the answers or the solutions to every problem there is. Now, this is the right time that you collaborate with, the people that you work with. Collaborate with them closely, giving them, that sense of accountability that they can be part of the solution reduces the rumor as well. because well, lots of people are going to be involved in the decision making in creating a solution for the problem. It the dissemination of the information is faster because there's lots of you that's part of the solution, that's part of the problem solving, and your roles should not dictate what you can contribute. Whatever as long as it's definitely going to be a help to the people they work with, then provide it, give it, be the person that provides the solution. Okay, so I highly encourage everyone to collaborate. Now is not the time to isolate ourselves and sit in one corner and just do what we want to do. We all need each other's help here. Okay, so teamwork, collaboration. Alrighty. Now the fifth one is community. Well, our offices are within communities, factories are within communities, colleges are within communities. So we are not just leading by example within our offices, but we're leading by example in broader communities. Where we have to be the role model. And since we're talking about a very infectious virus here, then how do we become good role model is we show the people on what are the things that we need to do, to prevent the virus from spreading, like simple as social distancing, washing your hands with germicidal soap or sanitizing gel or alcohol, etc., etc. So it is important that we benchmark ourselves. We set ourselves as the benchmark of the community when it comes to how to be or how to prevent this infectious virus from spreading. So be a role model of your community. That's say number 5, community. So for the 6th one, what do you think it is? Pwede chika, because it starts with C also. Pwede sa chismis. Alright, well, those are the things that we don't need, right now. But the 6th one is compassion. Okay, now we have a lot of colleagues here that are, number 1, vulnerable because they are 60 years old and above. Number 2, we have colleagues that are living with vulnerable person, like within their household there's someone that's pregnant, or their parents are above 60ish, or they may be living with someone that's a frontliner. Now we have to show compassion towards these people. How? Well, number 1, provide the appropriate and necessary options for them. Now, if it's a colleague that's a vulnerable one, I think it's safe to say that they have to be treated with what I'm saying is, for the ones that are vulnerable, it is best that they just stay at home. And if possible, be paid while staying at home. Okay, because we can't take the risk of them going into the office and knock on wood, acquiring the virus. These are the ones that are very vulnerable. So it's important that they just stay at home. But I'm not saying though that your company should do so. We all have to understand that our company have their own financial circumstances, and that's why, you know, the options that they provide, they vary. Okay, some are being shuttled with air-conditioned buses, some are being shuttled with just the regular buses. I don't see anything wrong with that, because the intent is just to ferry their employees from home to office and office to home, ensuring that, you know, they don't get what do you call this, like they don't get exposed to the ones that have the virus. Like they can still observe social distancing. That's the purpose of the shuttle. It's not really to put people in an air-conditioned shuttle. There are companies that have provided a work from home setup. Whilst I understand that that's definitely a good option, but there are companies who couldn't do so because of security purposes. And I hope employees would also have the mind to understand, you know, the situation of their respective companies. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that your company's number one priority is your safety. Okay? But also we have to understand that if the company keeps giving us things without, you know, giving anything in return to them, I don't know how long our company will last. Probably our company will be first gone and COVID is still there. Okay? That's just what I'm thinking. So we just have to be open-minded that all the options may not be out there, because it really depends on the financial status of our companies, of our respective company. So yeah, that's just my take on compassion. All right, so that's for the sixth C. Again, that's compassion. So, down to the last C. Would you want to guess what the last C is? Give it a try. It's a 4-letter word. Of course, it starts with the letter C and ends with the letter H. In between are A and S. Got it right. That's cash. Okay? So, well, lots of people have said, pera-pera lang yan. While the statement, you know, is said like that, but that's the reality. The thing is, if our company doesn't think of ways they can conserve their cash, they might not have their employees paid for next week. And that's a reality. That's why companies really have to double check, triple check, quadruple check it multiple times on what are the options they can do for their employees that both ends meet. Like the employees can come to work safely, and those employees can generate revenue for the company. In that way, you know, the cycle continues and continues, and companies can stay afloat. So while this is really the most obvious C there is, cash has to be there all the time, because without it, you can't pay your employees, and if you can't pay your employees, they're gonna get mad. If they're gonna get mad, it's either they don't continue to work anymore, or they will suck at work. Either ways, it will have a very negative impact to your company, and you know, it may lead to the bankruptcy of your company. So for us workers, I think what we need to have is the understanding that our own companies can only do so much for us. whatever option is out there that's very appropriate, let's take that. If it meant that everyone's going to be safe, should be fine. So that's just it for the 7 C's that I wish for you to have amidst this pandemic. And stay safe to everyone. So again, this is Alfie for Team LA Motovlog. I'd like to remind you to please like and subscribe. Click on the like and subscribe button below, and also the notification bell so you get notified for future videos. That's it, folks. Peace.